So maliwanag po rito na sinisiraan ngayon itong mga bayani natin na lumabas. At iniimbestigahan yung hindi raw maganda ang pag-retire nila. Ang imbestigahan nila yung Commander-in-Chief, yun ang magnanakaw.
Naku po.
Dapat yun ang imbestigahan yung Commander-in-Chief. Matagal na ito, bakit hindi nila masolve? Dahil ang problema, sila ang problema. Sila magpinsan ng problema.
Tama.
Hinahamon ko ulit, Bongbong Marcos, imbestigahan mo yung pinsan mo, ubos kayo lahat.
Grabe, ito na nga mga kabdita. Mismong si Manong Chavit nagsalita na imbestigahan niyang Commander-in-Chief yung nandyan mga kabdit. Hindi kung sino-sino. Binabaliktad kasi nila itong mga 18 ex-Marines na alam naman ho natin, hindi naman ho lalabas yung mga 18 ex-Marines mga kabdit kung wala ho malakas na ebidensya o panangga dyan sa gobyerno. Kasi mga kabdit, kung gagawa ho lang ng fake news itong 18 ex-Marines, hindi na ho nila gagawin ang paglalantad ng 805 billion na kinukurakot ng mga administrasyon ni Marcos Jr. Isa pa mga kabdit, pati ito si Attorney Delgra mga kabdit, nagsalita na ho kung ano na nga ba ang kalagayan ni FPRRD na dapat mga kabdit managot ito si Torre, si Remula, lahat ho na sangkot sa pag-kidnap kay FPRRD mga kabdit, kailangan mga nagot dahil yung katandaan ho ni FPRRD mga kabdit, nagagamot na ho siya, limot-limot na, hindi niya na ho kayang magpakita sa harap ng kamera. Nakita naman na ho natin mga kabdit yung ginawa ni Pangulong Duterte sa ating bansa. Nilinis niya ho, bumaba ang krimen, yung mga gumagamit ng white powder, natakot ho sa kanya, yung mga mapang-abuso sa kababaihan, natakot ho lahat sa kanya. Tapos ano hong ginawa sa kanya? Itinapon ho siya dyan, ipapalitis sa mga puti. Kaya mga kabdit, yung init ng ulo nitong Attorney Delgra mga kabdit, dito sumabugo talaga siya. Kaya dito wala na ho tayong paligoy-ligoy pa. Kung bago lang ako sa ating channel, like, share, isang subscribe lamang kung malaking tulong na yun. Direkta na ho tayo dito kay Manong Chavit at dito kay Attorney Delgra. Kaya dito wala na ho tayong paligoy-ligoy pa.
Kind of summarize at least in 4 days yung mga argumento ng bawat ng bawat party, no? So yun po ang nangyari, na whatever was presented by the prosecution, hina-highlight lang nila po yung mga malalakas allegedly mga malalakas na ebidensya na pwede nilang itapon against Mayor Rudy. Si Attorney Kaufman naman nagpresenta to refute each and every points that were raised by the prosecution. So yun po ang nangyari kung bakit kailangan pa, and it's also part of the rules and procedure of under the Rome Statute and of the ICC na dadaan itong prosesong tinatawag na confirmation of charges.
Good evening, Attorney Delgra. Si Coach Oli po ito. Alam nyo,
Yes, Coach.
ito yung bottom line na tanong ng taong bayan eh. Kasi sinasabi natin na malaki ang pag-asa kung ang titingnan ay ebidensya, pero syempre, political din to. And we all know that. Pero ang inaantay po ng taong bayan, gusto nilang malaman eh, na paano natin i-explain in layman's term na may pag-asa pa ba to? May aasahan ba tayo dito sa ginagawang hearing o talagang wala na, give up na?
I like to borrow the words of Attorney Sal. Hope for the best, expect the worst. I like to put that in context. Ganito po yan. Unang-una, narinig ko yung earlier conversation niyo patungkol sa jurisdiction ng korte. Patungkol sa situation in the Philippines. And that's how they express it in the court. Philippine situation or situation in the Philippines. And then they would refer it to a particular person, as in this case, si Mayor Rudy. Now, sa ating Philippine judicial system, pag merong issue of jurisdiction, kailangan i-resolve muna yan. Kasi nga, kung mangyari na hanggang sa dulo makita na wala palang jurisdiction, walang saysay yung mga nangyayaring hearing sa nakita natin the last 4 days, no? In fact, the issue of jurisdiction is the core issue that Mayor Rudy have raised, because in the first place he have always maintained na walang jurisdiction ang ICC. Walang jurisdiction among other things because we are withdrawn from the ICC. the investigation that was conducted by the ICC investigators, na kung totoo yung sinabi ng mga 18 former AFP personnel, were conducted after the withdrawal, which was sometime 23, 22, nag-withdraw tayo 2018, made effective 2019. Ibig sabihin, wala na talagang jurisdiction yung ICC kung totoo yung narration of events ng mga dating sundalo. Now, nevertheless, unique as it may be in the rules of the ICC, they can proceed with, as in this case, the confirmation of charges hearing, kahit na may pending issue on jurisdiction. Kaya that one alone makes us wonder, even among us lawyers, kung bakit this process has to proceed. So, yun po, yung isang bagay na yan na unique to the ICC rules.
So attorney, so tuloy po tayo kahit questionable yung jurisdiction. Ngayon, kunwari, bandang dulo, iba ang desisyon ng ICC laban kay PRRD, pero napatunayan din na walang jurisdiction. Pwede bang mabawi yon, yung desisyon na yon, and at the same time, pwede ba silang pasagutin etong mga gumawa ng pag-abuso sa batas ng Pilipino, and at the same time yung ICC, dahil knowing na walang jurisdiction, tumuloy sila?
As I mentioned earlier, it's quite unique na tumuloy kahit na hindi pa na-iklaro, finally resolved the issue of jurisdiction. And by the way, I've made mention earlier na pati si Mayor Rudy have not accepted these proceedings. In fact, he have said that this is a sham proceeding insofar as he is concerned, because hindi niya inaatrasan ito Kung merong kaso patungkol sa anumang ginawa niya nung mayor siya at nung presidente, he assumes full legal responsibility. That said, he also said na it will have to be a Filipino court tried by a Filipino judge kung anumang kaso na ilalatag. So, nung kahapon nga, pagkatapos nasabi ko na I was asked yesterday afternoon when everything was finished, anong masasabi ko sa nakakahiya, no? Nakakahiya na dalawa, on two aspect, na a foreign court has to hear this case and it's viewed all over the world in that sense, no? At pangalawa, on that note, nakakaya din, I'm a lawyer, I'm practicing in the Philippines, and yet it should be tried there because we need to affirm the integrity of the Philippine judicial system na doon natin sa Pilipinas ililitis ito. For them, for those people who brought this case before the ICC, it shows that they don't have confidence on the judicial system in the Philippines. Yun ang problema natin dito. Palakasin natin yung institusyon para mapalakas natin yung bansa, no? If you have a problem, judicial, social, political, let's address it among ourselves as Filipinos and strengthen the Philippine the democratic institution to address this problem.
Follow-up question lang.
Na we have to hear it before a foreign tribunal na hindi nakakaintindi sa konteksto sa nangyari doon sa Pilipinas. And I like to push further on that one. Good that on the final summation of Attorney Kaufman, dahil for several days since Monday, they have portrayed Mayor Rudy as a murderer, bloodthirsty. Napasali pa yung mga milyon-milyon mga supporter na sinasabing mini Duterte clones as bloodthirsty as well, no? Very insulting to all of us who have been praying and supporting Mayor Rudy to call us bloodthirsty Duterte clones. But nevertheless, no? Nevertheless, dumaan tayo dito sa prosesong ito na kailangan natin tingnan kung tama at pantay ba itong prosesong ito. Yun lang masasabi ko patungkol dito sa prosesong ito. Kaya I have my reservation because it's very political very political. Pagkuha na lang the illegal abduction of Mayor Rudy from the Philippines to The Hague, kinumpirma naman na yung eroplano was chartered by the Office of the President. At ngayon lumabas na yung investigasyon ng ICC investigators when they went to the Philippines were hosted by people who are clearly political distractors of the former president. Gives you a very clear picture of the political dimension of this case. Kung judicial lang ito, himay-himayin natin yung mga ebidensya. Pero himay-himayin at lilitisin doon sa Pilipinas, hindi rito.
Follow-up question lang po, Attorney Delgra. Speaking of jurisdiction, hindi po ba pwede na isabay, mayroong magsampa ng kaso dito sa Pilipinas para questionin? Hindi ko alam kung meron na nakasampa or wala pa, pero pwede magsabay para malitis dito yung jurisdiction ng ICC. Posible po ba yun?
Yung puntong jurisdiction na yan, wala tayong naisampa na kaso. And I would not, from my point of view, we need not to. Why? You know why? The Philippine Supreme Court does not have jurisdiction over the ICC. And conversely, the ICC does not have jurisdiction over the courts in the Philippines. That being said, meron po tayong pending na tatlong habeas corpus petition. At sinasabi ng kabila na hindi na po pwede itong petition na ito. By the way, just to educate the listeners, yung habeas corpus petition kasi na inahain ni Congressman Pulong, ni Mayor Baste at saka ni Kitty, ni Veronica Duterte, they were praying na illegal yung pagdala sa kanilang tatay papunta sa Hague, and therefore mananagot yung mga respondents, yung mga government officials that were mentioned there, among them the Remulla brothers, sila Gilbert Teodoro and all the rest, including Torre. Kailangan managot sila and directing them to bring the body of the former president to the Philippines. So I think that is what's more important insofar as having to address kung sino talaga ang may jurisdiction sa person of Mayor Rudy. Ngayon, ang sinasabi nila, ang ICC meron kasi may warrant of arrest. Tayo naman, nagsasabi tayo na ang Korte Suprema has power to direct the respondent to bring the body of former president back to the Philippines.
Okay. Attorney, si Master Judea po ulit, Ngayon po, tapos na yung confirmation of charges, And itong mga kababayan kasi natin is talagang hopeful pa rin sila na maganda ang kahihinatnan nitong investigasyon dyan sa ICC. Now, from confirmation of charges, how long are we going to wait para lumabas po, bago lumabas itong desisyon? At ano po ang mangyayari after nito?
Okay. You mentioned about time
Yes po, time frame.
Meron pong 60 days for the pre-trial chamber to resolve the issue on the confirmation of charges.
Apo.
On the second question was, ano yung outcome? There are three possible outcomes po.
Apo.
Una, if the prosecution was able to prove, and the standard of proof is actually substantial evidence, to bring the case to trial, then the charges will be confirmed. Kung hindi naman sapat yung ebidensya na pinakita during the confirmation of charges hearing, then the charges will be denied and the case will be dismissed and Mayor Rudy will be released from detention and brought home to the Philippines. That will be the consequence. The third outcome is kung makita ng judges na hindi sapat to confirm but may direct the prosecution on two things. Una, to reduce the charges kasi hindi sapat yung ebidensya to support the charge of crimes against humanity, or magkalap pa ng additional evidence to support the charges. So, basically, out of these three options, ang what we would have to expect is the only option that we would be expecting is the dismissal of the charges. Kasi yung dalawa, yung kung ma-confirm yung charges po, ang mangyari nito, trial will proceed and he will remain in detention. And on the third option that I mentioned, if the judge, the pre-trial chamber judges will say na ibalik natin sa prosecution, he will still remain in detention. So yun po ang gusto nating mangyari, may dismiss yung charges para makauwi na siya, si Tatay Digong.
What if po, kung halimbawa, sabihin na natin, na katulad ng sinasabi nila, na ito daw ay politically motivated. So, ano po kaya ang pwedeng mangyari dito? May pag-asa pa ba na makauwi siya if this is politically motivated?
Si Mayor Rudy, sinabi niya na sa waiver niya na ang posibilidad na doon na siya manatili at posibleng mamatay, tinanggap niya na yan.
Okay.
Actually, when I read the waiver, this is just my personal thought on the matter kasi kilala natin si Mayor Rudy way back when he was still mayor, ang ginawa niya ng waiver na yon, he was able to speak to the court and to the Filipino people yung damdamin niya. No? Kaysa sa confirmation of charges hearing, mga abogado lang magsasalita dyan. But he was given that chance to speak from his heart to the court and to the Filipino people. What does that mean? Sabi niya na, mukhang dito na ako, tinanggap ko na yung kapalaran ko na dito ako mamamatay. So, napaisip ako, that will make the ICC powerless from here on. Kasi whatever the decision of the ICC, tanggap naman niya. Kung ma-dismiss, mapauwi, okay. Pero kung hindi naman, tanggap niya na kung ano mangyayari. So, I like to say this, I'm not demeaning or disrespecting those who have died. No? But our focus here is on the suspect. By the way, tawag sa kanya, suspect pa kasi wala pang confirmation of the charges against him. So, that said, napangunahan niya yung ICC at yung mga umaatake sa kanya, natanggap niya na ang kanyang kapalaran. So, pero tuloy pa rin tayo sa paghahanap ng hustisya, sa paghahanap ng at patuloy yung pagdadasal at suporta kasi nakakarating sa kanya. Nakakarating talaga sa kanya yan. At that will give him more motivation and the will to live and to continue living despite his being frail, old, sickly, at by the way, malamig ang lugar dito. Yan ang isang bagay na ayaw niya. Ayaw niya sa malamig na lugar. Pero nevertheless, have gone through this for almost 1 year now. So hopefully, he will continue to fight his own fight because we are there behind him. And he knows that.
Attorney, si Banat Bay po. What can you say to those people na nagsasabi na Attorney Coffan is just using emotional argument doon sa kanyang closing remarks and mga pointers niya po?
Okay, I like to be fair on that one, para klaruhin ko lang itong sasabihin ko. When the prosecution, especially yung dalawang Filipino lawyers, were saying that Mayor Rudy was a murderer, and they even went, as I've said earlier, bloodthirsty, Mini Duterte clones, which I really felt very insulted, and I'm sure a lot of you were. They were also saying that children were murdered across the country. Yun ang sinasabi nila. Ngayon, that's one characterization of the man which to us is absolutely false. Now, Attorney Kaufman is in his closing statement, he mentioned about the statement of his encounter with the president last Wednesday, which basically was the same in almost every visit that Attorney Kaufman and his team would go through when they visit the President. Ang sinasabi ni Attorney Kaufman sa akin na almost every day na bumibisita sila. Kaya either to discuss the case or simply to keep him company. Ganun po yung kailangan natin gawin, yung ginagawa nila. Now, yung sinabi po ni Attorney Kaufman, if I have to say this, was sincere, authentic, and factual. Kasi kilala natin si Mayor Rudy, si Tatay Digong. At yung mga sinasabi niya patungkol doon sa I wish to be remembered as a faithful servant of the people, alam natin yan. So, hindi gawa-gawa ni Attorney Kaufman yan. Ano? Ang galing talaga yan kay Mayor Rudy, yung mga salita ng ganyan. At nakaka-relate tayo dun sa mga sinasabi niya because we have known him. I like to say this on a personal note. I am privileged enough to know him a little bit more of him than those who have been criticizing him. So, yun ang gusto kong sabihin sa lahat na totoo yung sinabi ni Attorney Kaufman. If it appeals to emotion, let it be that way. But I state for the record that it was authentic, it was factual, and sincere insofar as what we know of the President. Having said that, meron ng dalawang characterization ng tao before the judges. Ang sinasabi sa kabila, murderer, pumapatay ng mga bata. On the other side, a very compelling closing statement of Attorney Kaufman saying an entirely, completely different story about Mayor Rudy. So, yun po ang gusto kong sabihin, even on a very level-headed manner.
Attorney, isa pang tinatanong ng mga kababayan natin, pareho po ba ang sistema ng korte dito at saka korte sa ICC? Ang burden of proof po ba ay nasa nag-aakusa o ang depensa ang kailangan magpatunay na hindi mamamatay tao ang ating Pangulong Duterte?
Pareho lang po. The burden of proof is on the prosecution to prove the allegations that they have made or leveled against the former president.
What?
Yung po pareho lang. I think universally pareho lang yung pamamaraan on the determination of due process. So yung sinasabi nating due process na yan, kahit na hindi magsasalita yung dating pangulo, whether he's innocent or guilt, responsibility of the prosecution to prove his guilt. Yun po yung standard of proof dyan. Beyond reasonable doubt, by the way, this being a criminal case.
Attorney, isa pang accusation ng kabila ay yung tinatawag nilang indirect. Kasi pinupunto ni Attorney Kaufman na wala naman pong direct na kautusan or involvement ang ating dating Pangulo, pero sinasabi naman ng kabila na there's such thing as indirect na responsibility yung mga statement ng ating Pangulong Duterte. Ang isa pang indirect statement ay pwedeng maging batayan ng guilty verdict?
Dun sa tanong mo po, wala. Hindi po batayan yan to convict. But I would like to go further on that particular context. Kasi naging indirect perpetrator siya dahil hindi, according to the prosecution, hindi siya ang pumatay. He did not pull the trigger. But somebody did because inutusan siya. So basically, yan yung argumento na yan. But I'd like to state this for the record, especially yung relevant period when he was president. On the issue of the anti-drug policy of government, very clear yung policy na yan. And it's open source po yan. The Philippine Anti-Drug Strategy, yung mga lahat ng mga executive orders as regards how to address illegal drugs, it's all out in the open. And why I'm saying this, it is at the level of policy. And the President having set the policy, ang sa baba, yung PIDEA, yung Department of Justice, yung PNP will now implement that policy. So malayong malayo, very detached yung sinabi ng presidente by way of declaration of this policy against illegal drugs, punta dun sa baba on how to implement. Ang sinasabi niya na sa SONA, you have my full support kung gagawin mo yung trabaho mo. Siyempre, in accordance with the policy that he has set. But if you're going to violate, you will have hell because I will go after you. And a prime example of that, yung mga police involved sa Kian de los Santos case. 2 days after nangyari yung Kian, the parents had an audience with the president. And the president promised them, committed to them, that justice will be given to the family. And yung kaba nila na baka may hahabol sa kanila or what, sabi ng presidente, I will protect you. At nagawa naman din, na-convict yung mga pulis. And yung pulis, umakyat sa Korte Suprema, yung Korte Suprema, in-affirm yung decision ng RTC. What I'm saying, una, na sinunod ni Mayor Rudy yung commitment niya sa pamilya that justice will prevail. Pangalawa, that he is not for rogue cops, no? Kaya talagang kung may ginawa kang masama, habulin ka talaga niya. Okay? Pangatlo, and this is very important, it shows that we have a functioning judicial system in the Philippines. Yun ang gusto nating klaruhin dyan.
Attorney, isa pang dito, 'di ba, yung binabanggit ni Attorney Kaufman na wala namang indirect, puro witness lang na tinuturo daw di umano, na tinawagan sila, kinausap sila. Ito po ba yung magfo-fall din do sa testis unos, testis nullos, na kung saan one witness is no witness? Papasok po ba dito yun?
One witness is no witness if that particular witness cannot have a direct testimony pointing to Mayor Rudy as the one who did the crime or who committed the crime. Kaya lahat nito from day one until yesterday, lahat nito are all circumstantial evidence. At when you talk about circumstantial evidence, wala pa pong akusado na ma-convict on the basis of the testimony of one witness. Kailangan po may corroboration ng other witnesses. No? Yung tao napatay using a gun, no? Binaril. So one guy will testify na he saw the guy carrying a gun. The other guy will say, hindi niya nakita. The other guy, hindi niya nakita, pero narinig niya na may tunog na baril. The third guy will say na, nakita niya may tao na natumba at may gunshot wound. So all this set or series of evidence will have to corroborate each other. And may binanggit pa nga pala si Attorney Kaufman as regards that. Sinasabi ng isang witness, binaril. Pero pagdating sa forensic, sinaksak. Mapakamo tayo sa ulo niyan. So yun ang ibig sabihin sa corroboration. Because this is based, all of this, given the fact that he is an indirect perpetrator, has to be proven by circumstantial evidence.
So, Attorney, dahil sa mga nakikita ninyong ebidensya na mga presentation ni Attorney Kaufman, do you believe na may pag-asa na mapalaya si Pangulong Duterte, o nakikita ninyo na ICC is a political body na talagang ang purpose lang makulong si PRRD?
Okay, on the first part of your question, I have said this again, and we have said this again in the Philippine team, the Philippine team of lawyers who came here. We are one in saying that if it is based on the merits, we're very confident that the charges will be denied. Yun po. On the second question, alam mo na anong sagot doon. Kasi kung if the trial will be isolated from any political pressure, we're very confident. Pero kung ibang bagay ang papasok sa kaso, ay ibang usapan na rin yan.
Attorney, what about the 18 ex-marine na nagsabi na tinutulungan nila yung ICC? Would this have an effect?
Good that you mentioned that. I will say something about that.
Okay po. May
Not
effect
so
po ba
much
ito
about what,
sa... Ayun, attorney, may
I'm
effect
sorry.
po ba ito sa trial? Yung ginawa di umano daw na pag-asikaso ng ilang government official dito sa ICC?
I like to put that in context, and also I like to say something about some information I got here. May epekto yan sa kaso, to directly answer your question. And I hope may epekto kasi kailangan maipasok yan sa kaso. I'm sorry, the records of the case. Now, may epekto ba? Yes. You know why? 2 days after lumabas itong mga allegation regarding the ICC prosecutors being hosted by some groups of Filipinos when they went to the Philippines for several days, and in several occasions, may isang ICC lawyer na nakausap ko, nagsabi na it was quite unusual for the ICC to come out with a statement refuting the allegation. Why is it so? Dahil normally the court don't react or express comment which are external to any of the cases they're handling. Kaya nagtaka siya kung bakit. And this is the same in the Philippines. Yung alam mo na, di ba? You're all there practicing your industry in expressing yourselves in social media, everything else. On both sides, binabatikos yung Korte Suprema or pabor sa Korte Suprema, pero may mabasa ba kayo na nagre-react yung Korte Suprema sa bagay-bagay na yan? Hindi. Dahil the Supreme Court of the Philippines express themselves through the decisions that they promulgate. So these are official records pertaining to cases that they hear before the court. So they express themselves in the decisions that are promulgated by the Philippine Supreme Court. Dito, quite unusual, nag-react ang ICC by way of a statement refuting what they said. Pero mahirap i-refute eh. Kasi kung totoo yung affidavit, hindi lang po salita ng tao, pati yung mga pictures. At na-i-confirm na yung tao doon, a certain, even one of them, sino nga ba yan? Miss Chantal, is confirmed to be an ICC investigator. So, ito is a very compelling evidence which should be looked into, by the way, by the relevant agencies of government, whether it be the Ombudsman or the Senate Committee, to investigate this allegation. Ang problema lang dito, yun ang lumabas sila, ang inimbestiga yung 18, hindi yung sinasabi nila patungkol sa mapakamot ka sa ulo kung bakit
Pero,
sila yung iniipit.
Attorney, what do you think of this? Is this being defensive ang ICC or they're just trying to clarify na hindi sila involved?
Actually, there is not much that they said in details dun sa statement na nabasa ko. Except to say, like for example, their funding when they do investigation anywhere else in the world are sourced from the budget of the ICC. Basically that. Pero, yun nga, if you're doing that and then you react on something that is external to the court, why would you do that? I think you know more of that than I do because you're in that business. You're in that industry in communicating issues out in the open.
But attorney,
Mas makakaintindi kayo niyan kaysa ako.
can we say that it is illegal?
Hindi naman illegal. Which one are you referring to?
Yung pong sinabi po nung Marines, ex-Marines na tinulungan ng ni Trillanes di umano through the giving ng pera, would you consider that as illegal sa investigator ng ICC?
Ganito. kung totoo yung sinasabi ng 18 Marines, no? Kung totoo yan, that adds up to the argument on the political dimension of this case. Kasi hindi sila objective at mangyari na heavily biased yung ginawang ICC investigation sa loob ng Pilipinas. At saka kung totoo yung mga I do not know if there was a specific statement about $2 million na that was requested and that was supposed to be used for expenses in the investigation. Magiging illegal yan kung nakatanggap yung mga ICC investigator ng pera galing dito sa nag-host sa kanila sa Pilipinas. No? But at the least, it will show a clear bias on how you investigate the case. Kasi kung objective ka na investigador, you will look at all angles, no? Both sides or multiple sides for that matter. Kung totoo ba yung ano na yan, yung nangyayari na yan na kaso. Pero as it appears, yung nag-host sa kanila dito, sila din ang nag-guide sa mga ICC prosecutors kung saan pumunta, kung sinong taong i-interview nila, anong dokumento ang ibibigay. So, you know, that becomes suspect insofar as an objective investigation of the Philippine situation is concerned.
Attorney, si Coach Oli po ulit, no? So, it is
Yes.
as if inaamin ng ICC na political to kasi nag-react sila eh. Second question po, Attorney, advisable ba na i-open ni Attorney Kaufman etong mga ebidensya laban sa ICC na nilabas nitong 18K o yung tinatawag nating 16 Marines and 2 sundalo?
Insofar as your second question is concerned, iabot na po namin yung information na yan sa defense team. But on how they're going to handle it, unfortunately, there are a lot of things that we do not know because of the confidential nature of the proceedings. Kung maalala nyo, pati yung if you are following the hearing on a delayed telecast, mga ilang beses pinuputol-putol. And I asked Attorney Kaufman regarding that. And he mentioned that in the interview na sinasala ng ICC kung ano yung mga supposed to be hindi sasabihin dahil nga confidential. Pero narinig namin lahat nung nandun kami sa gallery. Pero hindi rin namin alam kung ano yung mga supposed to be hindi ma-broadcast sa inyo lahat because delayed kayo ng 30 minutes.
Attorney, yung ano naman, pagdating naman dito sa Supreme Court, hindi ko alam kung nasagot nyo na to kanina eh. Na-cite nyo kanina yung mga final nila Mayor Baste eh. Pero if ever, yung mga nakabinbin na kaso sa Supreme Court, nag-rule ang Supreme Court na illegal etong mga pag-aresto, pagpapadala kay Pangulong Duterte doon, mako-compel po ba yung ICC na mag-adhere or mag-comply doon sa decision ng Supreme Court natin?
My lawyer's opinion is that, legally speaking, as I've said earlier, the Philippine Supreme Court does not have jurisdiction over the ICC. They will not be able to compel the ICC to release. By the way, the habeas corpus petition were addressed to the relevant government officials who were made respondents to the case. That said, if the petitions would be granted, it's now the burden of the Philippine government, Philippine government through these officials, na ibalik si Mayor Rudy dito sa Pilipinas. Sa ibang jurisdiction, nangyari na nga daw yan. Patungkol dito sa Amerika na may isang tao na mistakenly deported to another country. I think that was Honduras. And a case was filed in the Supreme Court and the petition was granted. So the U.S. government made arrangement to bring the American citizen back to the States. So basically, yan yung arrangement na yan. And on the part of the ICC, if ever there is such a decision in favor of the former president in relation to the habeas corpus petition, that would be very, very persuasive argument that Attorney Kaufman can use for an early release of the president.
Attorney, meron ba kayong meron ba kayong listahan or nakita niyo po ba yung listahan ng mga redacted doon na mga pangalan? Kasi merong mga redacted na mga pangalan na hindi pwedeng mabanggit dahil baka daw ma-compromise yung security.
Wala
whatever.
kami. Kung ano yung what was made public are the same copies that we have.
Hindi po
Si
nagbigay.
Attorney Kaufman was very strict on the confidentiality rule of the court. Kung may tatanungin kami, if it falls under the confidential nature of such communication or piece of evidence, he would not disclose.
Pero meron po
So,
kayong idea? May idea kayo sino-sino itong mga ito?
Lumalabas naman yung mga taong nire-refer ni Attorney Kaufman at ng prosecution. Makikita naman din natin yan before the case was brought to The Hague, no? Two people have been interviewed a number of times in the past, no? Si Las Cañas at saka si Matobato among them. So alam natin na they would be among those prosecution witnesses. Kung ano yung sinabi nila, at least insofar as the records is concerned, that I would not know kasi that's not disclosed. But some other incidents, as they call it, were not redacted, and I like to cite one, the one that happened in Osamis City against the Parawinog. Maganda yung argumento ng depensa. Sinasabi na hindi ito premeditated at saka labag sa batas. Kasi yung pagpasok ng pulis doon sa bahay ng mga Paruhinog was on the basis of a judicially issued search warrant. So valid yung pagpasok nila. Pangalawa, yung pagpasok nila, there was an encounter. Ibig sabihin, ang tawag nito, there was an armed encounter and for which the police has to respond as well in order to deter the risk, in order to deter the what do you call that, the violence that they were facing at the time. Pangatlo, hindi po madalian yon. Mangilang oras bago natapos. No? Pang-apat, at sinight ito ni Attorney Kaufman. Pang-apat, may mga namatay pero meron ding na-aresto. 4. So kung totoo yung sinasabi nila as what they're portraying Mayor Rudy as a murderer at saka lahat ng mga ginawa niya is really premeditated na walang ligtas, patayin nyo lahat, bakit may buhay? No, yung mga ganong mga ebidensya, nailatag niya lahat yan. Hindi lang po namin ma-appreciate at kayo rin, hindi rin nyo ma-appreciate kasi napipigilan siyang magsalita because some of these are confidential or redacted versions of what is already in the records of the case.
Attorney, yung isang mainit na usapin dito kasi parang medyo hindi yata nagkakaintindihan patungkol doon sa salitang ano ba yon, yung neutralize at saka yung tokhang. Kasi sinabi din ng spokesperson, Yusek, ng PCO, na dito daw sa Pilipinas, ang ibig sabihin daw ng neutralize, and even si dating Supreme Court Justice Carpio, sinabi din niya na kapag ginamit daw ng otoridad yung salitang neutralize, kill daw ang ibig sabihin nun. Ano pong masasabi niyo dyan?
Si Attorney Kaufman had made it very clear, no? Before the pre-trial chamber, that neutralize means maipigil yung ginagawa ng tao. So, arrest, apprehension, and detention, prosecution, no? The last resort would be to kill if there is risk to the lives of the arresting officer. So, yun po yung kinaklaro at pabalik-balik na sinasabi ni Attorney Kaufman. And it's all there. Policy-wise, klarong-klaro naman na hindi sinasabi na the word neutralize means to kill. It's basically inconsistent with the PNP operational manual, no? Na mapipigilan yung tao. You'll be able to restrain him without risk to the arresting officer.
Kasama din
Umiikot-ikot yung argumento patungkol sa neutralization or neutralize sa prosecution at sa depensa. But they cannot pin anything at all. I'm referring to the prosecution to say, I'm referring to the whatever is said or whatever is in the record to say that the word neutralize or neutralization means to kill.
Attorney, yung isa pa na nabanggit dito ni Attorney Kaufman, yung pangalan ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Sa tingin ninyo makakatulong ba yun sa pag-convince niya sa mga huwes na i-dismiss na itong kaso ni Pangulong Duterte?
Ang nakita ko doon, in fact, I was surprised that he mentioned that. But I think just to put in perspective na lumalaganap pa rin at patuloy yung nangyayaring patayan sa Pilipinas even after Mayor Rudy stepped down from office as president. So, yun po yung perspective doon. So, parang ang sinasabi niya na why would you, because first of all, there is Attorney Kaufman has been denying, and that is the position of Mayor Rudy, denying all the charges, no, that he had killed all these individuals, or even upon his order, for that matter. Now, even assuming that, meron pa rin nangyayaring patayan papunta doon sa nung wala na siya.
Attorney, nakausap niyo po ba or meron po ba kayong chance na makabisita kay Pangulong Duterte? Meron po ba kayong clearance?
We really have wanted to. All 6 of us, we really have wanted to. Pero stricto yung ICC. Dalawang kategorya lang ng tao ang pwede. Yung members ng defense team at saka yung member ng kanyang pamilya ang makakabisita.
Thank you, Attorney.
By the way, I made an attempt the first time I came here last year, April, na mag-apply to visit him. By the way, an application to visit a detainee has to go through it online. So I filled out siguro mga 6-page application form to visit. Para ka nag-apply ng passport. Tinatanong ka yung passport number mo, anong pangalan mo, address, at saka questions like, have you ever been charged or convicted of any crime, blah, blah, blah. Have you... So, yun po mga tinatanong. Aside from, sino ka, ano yung relation mo sa detainee, anong purpose mo na pupunta ka rito, yung mga ganon. And I went through that process before I left the Philippines. And then I came here, wala pa rin sagot. So I made a follow-up email only to be told na hindi pwede because the visit is only limited to these 2 types of people who can visit him.
Thank you, Attorney. Si Sir
Matindi,
Jack po, meron
matindi.
yatang sasabihin sa inyo.
If I may emphasize this point,
Sige po.
matindi na pag andito pa siya, I mean, yung pagbibisita talagang very, very limited. Kaya, importante talaga, even at least in the interim, he would be released to a country who will host him para mas marami pang tao makakabisita sa kanya.
May Sir Jack, meron kang masasabi kay Attorney Del?
Wala akong tanong. Lahat ng tanong ko, sinagot nila eh.
Oo.
Tinanong nila eh.
Tanong mo muna kung
Pinupusan
naiintindihan
ako
ka
ng
niya.
tanong, di ba?
Tanong mo kung naiintindihan
Ano-
ka niya, klaro ba?
Klaro, malinaw ba?
Yeah, malinaw po. I can hear you.
Alam mo ha? Wala akong tanong. Gusto ko lang magpasalamat sa pagmamahal at suporta mo kay Pangulong Duterte. Maraming salamat sa'yo. At sa inyo lahat.
Boss, ibabalik ko yung pasasalamat mo sa inyo, sa iyo at sa inyong lahat. Kasi let's continue the fight for the old man. Hindi aatras yan. Sa pagkakakilala natin sa kanya, hindi yan aatras hanggang sa dulo. Up to his last breath, he will fight his battle. And it is just but fitting for us to help him fight his battle.
Attorney, you have the floor. Kausapin niyo po ang mga kababayan nating Pilipino.
Salamat po, Bay. Nagpapasalamat na pala ako rito, no, sa opportunity for having me in your show. But more importantly, salamat sa outpouring of prayers and support. Even before when he was in office, all the more now that he has left the government service, private citizen na lang po, at inaapi rito sa Hague. But you continue to support him, you continue to pray for him. At kami, nagpapasalamat po sa patuloy na suporta. I like to say this a little bit in context. In the last 4 days po, and in this week, grabe ang suporta ng mga Pilipino. Yung makikita mo sa social media, hindi po lang galing yan sa The Hague. Hindi lang po yan galing sa other parts of Netherlands, Amsterdam, Rotterdam. Hindi lang po yan galing sa iba't ibang parte ng Europe. Yung mga tao po, manggagaling sa iba't ibang parte ng mundo. I came across with somebody who came from Qatar. Mapapakamot ka sa ulo mo. Gagastos ang oras at pamasahe, pupunta lang dito. I even saw some kababayan from Davao. They're not based here, but they came from Davao. Somebody came from London. And there's one family who came all the way from Paris. At yung asawa na Ilongga, siya yung nag-drive for 8 hours just to bring the family here. And for 4 days, they stayed here. So, yung mga bagay-bagay na yan, nakakabusog puso. At reinforces our belief and our affirmation for our love for Mayor Rudy, for Tatay Digong. So, salamat po at tutukan nyo yung kaso so that you will be able to know, learn, and understand what is happening to our Tatay Digong. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat po, Attorney Martin Delgra, kaibigan at legal counsel po ng ating dating Pangulong Duterte. Maraming salamat po, sir.
Salamat po.
Yung mga sinasabi ni attorney na yan yung mga Duterte clone, Banat ba? Ikaw ba ay proud na clone ka ni Pangulong Duterte?
Siyempre matik yan. Tayo ay proud. At alam nyo mga kababayan, huling message ko for today ay yung, alam mo, ginamit ni Attorney Kaufman yung mga kababayan natin. Bakit to importante yun? It's not appealing emotionally. Pero dito, sinasabi niya, kung itong presidente na ito na sinasabi ng mga prosecutor mamamatay tao, this president will not be loved by many Filipinos. Kaya napaka-importante yung ginagawa ninyong expression dyan sa The Hague, sa Europe. Nung nagpunta nga kami dyan, tama si Atty. Delga, napakadami galing sa iba't ibang bansa. Pero kung hindi kayo makakapunta, maaari nyo namang i-post sa social media. Ngayon nga, meron sa mga taga-Japan, nagrarally sila. So kung meron kayong mga rally, pwede ba ipagpaliban nyo na muna yung chismisan at awayan ninyong mga Duterte supporter? Kasi yan na nakakagulo. Oo, mga ano yan. Ewan ko na, ayoko na magsalita. Pero isang tabi na po muna natin yan. Yan chismisan na yan. Magsuportahan tayo, ipakita natin sa ICC. Kasi yung pressure importante. Marami nagsasabi, political ang ICC. Pero naniniwala ako na they can be pressured by us, Filipinos. So ipakita natin sa buong mundo, from Europe, UK, sa Asia, Middle East, ipakita natin suporta. Gumawa kayo ng rally, tsaka na muna ang chismisan, rally muna tayo to support PRRD. Yun lang ang akin. Dahil yan ay ginagamit mismo ni Atty. Kaufman. At imagine niyo sabi nga nila si Atty. Kaufman mas
naging
DDS daw. Mayroong interview doon ng mga kakampuit. Kakamping. Sabi nila si ano daw ay maka-DDS daw yung argument niya. Alam mo, sa totoo lang, totoo yun. Kasi, ito, hindi na trabaho kay Kaufman. Ito'y galing na sa puso. As a matter of fact, iba nga yung kanyang, yung kanyang style nung kinausap niya si Pangulong Duterte, di ba?
Dinidiscourage na siya ni Pangulong Duterte pero diniretso pa rin niya.
Oh, kasi nga, yung puso niya nandun na eh. You know why? Because tayong mga Pilipino nakikita niya. Yun nga eh, tinanong siya, anong difference nung mga cases na hinandle mo noon at ngayon? Ang difference daw, yung mga tao. Yung suporta ng mga Pilipino kay Pangulong Duterte. Ipakita natin yan through social media. Yun lang. Salamat po.
Alam mo ba, Banat Bay? Bago lang tayo magtapos, yung kauna-unahan na team ng SMNI nung pinadala si Pangulong Duterte dyan sa Dahig, nandito ngayon. Nandito ngayon. Tatawagin natin yan dito sa stage. Halika dito, Kuya Anton. Halika rito, Kuya Anton.
Yun.
Dahil malungkot daw.
Kuya
ang
Anton,
mga,
halika.
malungkot daw ang mga taga-Hague. Dahil wala si Kuya Anton doon. Ang tagal-tagal na. Dahil
Oo,
alam ko, gusto
halika
nyo
na
makita
dito.
si Kuya Anton. Halika dito, Kuya Anton.
Ito kasama natin to, no? Bumabiyahe. Oo.
Halika, Kuya Anton. Dahil
Dito-
wala kaming guest. Ikaw ang guest namin. Ito si Kuya Anton.
Ito yung
Ang-
surprise guest.
ito yung surprise guest namin.
Di ba may surprise guest?
Itong si Kuya Anton, ang kauna-unahan na...
Dali, mangingingongo rin siya pagka...
Hindi, maayos yan. Maayos yung mic na yan. Pero kasama natin si Kuya Anton.
Kuya Anton.
Tatanungin lang natin, syempre si Kuya Anton. Noong unang araw nang pinadala si Pangulong Duterte dyan, na hanggang ngayon, kamusta yung mga Pilipino dyan? At yung mga na bumibisita dyan sa Dahig?
Yes, magandang gabi po sa ating lahat, mga kaibigan, mga kapartners dyan sa Dahig. So, yung tanong po ni Boss D, simula nung umpisa na dinala si Tatay Digong o si PRD sa Dahig, ang suporta po ng lahat ng mga Pilipino, hindi lang sa Europe, kundi sa buong mundo ay tuloy-tuloy pa rin hanggang ngayon.
Nasaksihan mo yan, hindi ba?
Yes.
At nasaksihan mo rin si Banat Bay doon.
Oo.
Alam mo, simple ito Kasi...
Simpleng ano?
Hindi, simple.
Simple.
Hindi
Okay.
kasi dito nag-a-appear sa
yes.
'di ba? Hindi ito hindi to sa likod kasi nga taga KOGC ito eh. Alam mo naman mga taga KOGC, humble lang 'yan.
At saka,
'di ba?
kanina sinasabi mo yung mga alitan dyan sa ibang lugar. Alam mo ba na may peacemaker?
Oo.
Si Kuya Anton yan. Friends to all yan.
Oo nga, grabe ito nung niyayaya tayo. Banat Bay, kain daw kay ganito, kain daw kay ganyan. Siya ang humaharap. Sabi ko, bahala ka na dyan makipag-usap.
Pero ito ang pilar, isa sa mga pilar ng mga Pilipino na nagpunta dyan sa Dahig simula nun dyan si Pangulong Duterte hanggang ngayon. So thank you very much Kuya Anton ng SMNI Europe Bureau. Ayan,
Pag
nakilala.
nagawi kayo sa Spain, taga Spain kayo, di ba sir? Oo. Madrid.
Ngayon.
Saan ka kayo? Madrid, Barcelona?
Babalik na sila bukas eh.
Ngayon, Boss, sir eh.
Kuya Anton ang pangalan ng Kuya Anton. No?
Oo, Kuya
Yes,
Anton.
Napapanood ko sa TV yan.
So papasalamat din ako sa ating buting pastor, Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy, sa pribilehiyo na makauwi dito sa Pilipinas at makabisita sa kanya.
Ayan.
Salamat po, Pastor.
Thank you very much. So, mga banateros, wala na kayong sasabihin.
Ako, Kuya Anton, di ba? Sa buhay, malinaw eh.
Malinaw.
Malinaw naman. Kuya Anton,
Personal kong na-meet si Boss Jack eh.
ayun, Kuya Anton, anong nakakain ka ng mukha ko sa Facebook? Saka sa mukha ko sa personal. Ano masabi mo?
Gwapo ka sa Facebook pero mas gwapo ka sa personal.
Ayun, tama na.
I love it. Pupunta ako ng Barcelona. Barcelona ba siya?
Madrid.
Ay, Spain.
Kahit saan, basta sa Spain.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Alam ha, madami kang alam ha.
Alright.
Madami kang alam na
Welcome
Espanyol.
home.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Alright.
Happy trip dahil
Ako
bukas
kayo mapalit ako
pabalik.
bukas.
Nakita ka na niya eh. Ikaw lang pinuntahan.
Ako ganun.
Marami bang humbar?
Oy, masarap.
Masarap
SND.
magumba.
Oo, syempre ang
Oo,
SND
pag pumunta
restaurant
kami doon.
at ang King's Chow, masarap sila magluto doon.
At dahil dyan,